My wife slammed the papers on the table. "I want half of everything. Sign this now." I laughed and signed immediately. She didn't realize the debt was also split 50/50ths. When the bank sent letter to seize her new apartment to pay her share of the business loan, she came crawling back. Original post. I, 38 male, was sitting in my home office going through quarterly tax documents when my wife, 36, burst through the door. No knock, just barged in holding a manila folder like it was a sword. "Sign these." She slapped the papers down on my desk, literally slapped them. So my receipts went flying. I looked up. "Hello to you too. What is this?" "Divorce papers. I want half of everything. The house, the savings, your business equity. All of it. I already had my lawyer draw everything up. Just sign." I blinked. We'd been married 8 years. Yeah, things have been rough lately. She'd been distant, spending more time at her sister's place, getting home late from book club. But divorce papers? Out of nowhere. "Don't you think we should talk about this?" "There's nothing to talk about. I'm done. I've been done for months. I deserve half of what we built together, and I'm taking it. Sign the papers." Something about her tone made me pick up the documents. Skimmed through them quickly. Standard dissolution of marriage. Asset division. She wanted the house sold and proceeds split 50/50ths. She wanted half of my business valuation, half of our savings accounts, half of our retirement funds. I started laughing. "What's so funny?" Her face went red. "Nothing. Just, you had lawyers draw this up?" "Yes. And they're expensive, so don't drag this out. Sign it now." I grabbed a pen. "Okay." Her eyes widened. "What?" I said okay. 50/50 split sounds fair. I signed every page that needed my signature. Dated them. Pushed the folder back across the desk. "There you go." She grabbed the papers, suspicious. "That's it? You're not going to fight me?" "Nope. You want half. You got half." I'm assuming your expensive lawyers explained that 50/50 means all marital assets and all marital debts, right? Obviously, we don't have any debt except the mortgage, which gets paid off when we sell the house. I leaned back in my chair. "Right. Except for the business loan." Her face went blank. "What business loan?" "The one I took out 3 years ago to expand the company. Remember? I needed capital to hire more staff and upgrade our equipment. You signed off on it because it was during our marriage and the bank required spousal consent. That's your business debt, not mine. Actually, no. It's a marital debt because we were married when I took it out and you co-signed the paperwork. Didn't your expensive lawyers check for outstanding loans?" The color drained from her face. "How much?" "Well, the loan was originally $280,000. I've been making minimum payments because the interest rate is great and I've been using the extra cash flow to invest. Current balance is about $245,000. So your half would be $122,500. She laughed. That weird, high-pitched laugh people do when they're panicking. "That's insane. I'm not paying that." "You don't have to pay it directly. It just gets deducted from your share of the marital assets. Let's see. House is worth about $400,000. Mortgage is $180,000, so that's $220,000 equity. Half is $110,000 for you. My business is valued at roughly $350,000. Half is $175,000 for you. Savings and retirement total about $90,000. Half is $45,000 for you. So you're looking at about $330,000 in assets." I pulled out a calculator. "Minus your half of the business loan, $122,500. You'd walk away with roughly $207,500. Still not bad." She grabbed the papers back. I need to talk to my lawyer." "Sure thing. But you already signed them too, right? I mean, you had me sign immediately. I'm assuming you signed first." Her jaw clenched. She had. "This isn't over." She stormed out. I heard our bedroom door slam. Then I heard her on the phone, yelling at someone. Probably the lawyer who didn't catch the debt issue. That was 3 days ago. Haven't heard from her since. She's been staying at her sister's place. Let's see how this plays out. Update 1, 2 weeks later. Okay, so things escalated exactly how I expected. My wife showed up yesterday with her lawyer. Not her sister this time, her actual attorney. This woman walked in wearing a suit that probably cost more than my monthly car payment, carrying a leather briefcase that screamed, "I bill $400 an hour." They sat down at my kitchen table like they owned the place. "We need to discuss the loan," my wife said. "What's there to discuss? You wanted 50/50ths. You got 50/50ths. Her lawyer jumped in. "Mister," she glanced at her notes, "my client was not adequately informed about the extent of marital debt at the time of signing the dissolution agreement." That's weird, because she co-signed the loan 3 years ago. The bank sent monthly statements to our shared email address. She had access to all our financial records. She didn't read them, my wife snapped. "Not my problem." The lawyer tried again. "We're prepared to contest the inclusion of this debt in the asset division. My client should not be responsible for a business loan that solely benefited your company." I pulled out a folder I prepared. Actually, she directly benefited. See, I used that loan to hire 3 new employees, which increased company revenue by 40%. That increased revenue paid for our vacation 2 years ago, and the new car she's currently driving, and the kitchen renovation she wanted, and about a dozen other things she enjoyed while we were married. I slid copies of receipts across the table. Highlighted items. Bank statements showing company bonuses going into our joint account, then transfers to pay for her expenses. Her lawyer's face tightened. She started going through the documents. My wife wasn't even looking at them. "I don't care about paperwork. I'm not paying $122,000 for your business. Then you'll have to forfeit some of your asset claims to balance it out. Want to give up your share of the house? Or maybe your retirement fund portion?" "No, I want what I'm entitled to." "You're entitled to half the assets and half the debts. That's what you demanded. That's what you signed for." Her lawyer tried a different approach. "Perhaps we can negotiate a different arrangement. My client keeps her full asset distribution, and you maintain sole responsibility for the business loan." Why would I agree to that? Because it would expedite the process and avoid costly litigation. I shrugged. I'm fine with litigation. I've got time and money. Plus, the longer this drags out, the more interest accrues on that loan. Interest that she's 50% responsible for. My wife slammed her hand on the table. "This is blackmail." "No, this is divorce. You wanted to split everything down the middle without discussing it like adults. You got exactly what you asked for." They left 20 minutes later. Her lawyer looked frustrated. My wife looked like she wanted to throw something. That evening, my brother called. "Dude, your wife's sister just called me. Said you're trying to scam her sister out of money." Did she mention the part where her sister ambushed me with divorce papers and demanded half of everything? Yeah, she mentioned that. She also said you tricked her into signing. I didn't trick anyone. I signed exactly what she put in front of me. Not my fault her lawyer didn't do their job properly. Her sister says she's planning to file a motion to amend the agreement. Let her try. The papers are signed. We both agreed to 50/50ths. My brother laughed. "You're cold, man. I like it." Here's what I didn't tell my wife. The business loan has another fun feature. It's secured against business assets and personal guarantees, which means if she tries to discharge her portion of the debt through bankruptcy or something similar, the bank can come after her personal assets. Her lawyer will figure that out eventually. Probably around the same time my wife realizes she can't afford to buy a new place until this debt gets resolved. Update 2, 6 weeks later. This is where it got really interesting. My wife's lawyer filed a motion to modify the asset division agreement, claimed financial duress and lack of full disclosure. Basically argued that my wife didn't understand what she was signing. My lawyer, who I finally hired after the first meeting, had a field day with this. He submitted copies of the original loan documents with my wife's signature, email chains between me and my wife discussing the business expansion, bank statements showing she had full access to all financial accounts, her own text messages to me from 2 years ago congratulating me on the business growth. The judge took one look at everything and denied the motion. Said my wife had ample opportunity and access to review marital finances, and that ignorance of financial matters does not constitute grounds for modification after voluntary signing. The hearing was 2 weeks ago. Last week, my wife did something I didn't expect. She went out and bought a condo, like actually closed on it. I found out through her sister who couldn't resist bragging about it on social media. Apparently, my wife got a decent settlement offer from her job. She's in pharmaceutical sales and used it as a down payment. Took out a mortgage for the rest. Here's the thing. The divorce isn't finalized yet. We're still in the separation period, which means the bank holding my business loan still considers us married. And here's the other thing. Her lawyer apparently told her that once the divorce is final, they can work out the debt situation. Probably told her she'd be able to negotiate it down or structure payments over time. What her lawyer didn't account for was the bank's acceleration clause. See, when I took out that business loan, one of the terms was that if there's a significant change in financial circumstances for either borrower, that's me and my wife, since she co-signed, the bank can demand immediate payment or require additional collateral. Divorce counts as a significant financial change. So when the bank got notice that we filed for divorce, they sent us both a letter. Required us to either A. Pay off the loan in full within 90 days. B. Provide additional collateral to secure the debt. C. Allow them to place liens on personal assets. I chose option B. I provided additional business assets as collateral. My business has the equipment and property to cover it. My wife, she ignored the letter. Her lawyer probably told her it was just a formality. 2 days ago, she got a second letter. This one was a notice of intent to place a lien on her personal property, specifically her new condo, to secure her portion of the debt. Yesterday, my phone blew up. 38 calls from her. Texts ranging from, "We need TO talk," to "You did this on purpose," to "I am going TO lose my condo." I finally picked up. "You son of a..." "Hey, watch it. What's going on?" "The bank is trying to take my condo. They're saying I owe them $122,000. Well, yeah, that's your half of the business loan. I don't have $122,000. I use my money for the down payment. So, you bought a condo while knowing you had a six-figure debt obligation? That's not great financial planning. You need to fix this. Tell them it's your debt. It's our debt. You co-signed. You benefited from it during our marriage. Now we're splitting it, just like you wanted. I'll sue you. For what? Following the divorce agreement you demanded." She was crying now, angry crying. "Please, I can't lose this place. I finally have somewhere that's mine. Then pay your half of the debt, or work out a payment plan with the bank. They want the full amount or collateral." Sounds like a problem. She hung up, called back immediately. "What if I give up some of the other assets? Like, you keep more of the retirement fund, and I'll take less overall." "Nope. Already signed the agreement. 50-50, remember? You're doing this to punish me. I'm doing exactly what you asked me to do. You wanted half of everything. This is half of everything." More crying. "I hate you. I know. Anything else?" She hung up again. This morning, her lawyer called my lawyer. Apparently, they want to negotiate a settlement where I assume the full loan and she keeps her condo. My lawyer asked what I wanted to do. I said no. See, here's what my wife doesn't know. I've been making extra payments on that business loan for the last month. Not the minimum anymore, substantial payments. I'm on track to have it paid off in about 18 months. But her half, that's still sitting there. Accruing interest, being calculated by the bank as her personal responsibility. If she doesn't pay it or provide collateral, the bank will absolutely put a lien on her condo. They've already started the legal process. And if she tries to sell the condo to avoid the lien, she'll have to pay off the lien first, which means she's still stuck with the debt. The only way out is for her to either pay it, convince me to assume it, not happening, or forfeit enough other assets to cover it. She played herself, demanded a divorce, demanded 50/50ths, rushed me to sign, didn't read the fine print, didn't listen when I tried to explain the debt situation. And now she's about to lose the one thing she bought to start fresh. Update 3, final. It's been 3 months since my last update. Time for the final chapter. The bank moved forward with a lien on my wife's condo, exactly like I knew they would. She had 60 days to either pay her portion of the debt or watch them seize the property to satisfy the loan. Week 1, she tried everything to get me to budge. Phone calls, emails, showing up at my house unannounced. Every conversation was the same. "Please just take the loan. I'll give you something else in exchange. We already split everything. There's nothing left to trade. Then loan me the money. I'll pay you back. You're currently divorcing me and calling me every name in the book. Why would I loan you $122,000? Because you're destroying my life. You destroyed our marriage. I'm just enforcing the agreement you demanded. Week 2, her family got involved. Her sister called me. Her mom called me. Even her dad, who I actually liked, tried to mediate. Her dad was the only one who was somewhat reasonable. Look, I know my daughter screwed up. She rushed this divorce and didn't think it through. Is there any way to work something out? I can't watch her lose everything. She's not losing everything. She's losing the condo she bought with money she didn't have while owing 6 figures in debt. That's just consequences. You're really going to let the bank take her home? It's not her home. She's owned it for 8 weeks and put down maybe 15% with her settlement money. The bank owns 85% of it. And now they want their piece of our marital debt. He sighed. She really didn't know about the loan. She co-signed it. She got statements. She had access to all our accounts. She just didn't pay attention because I was handling the finances. Then when she decided she wanted out, she didn't bother checking what liabilities we had. That's on her. He couldn't argue with that. Week 3, her lawyer tried a new approach. Filed a motion claiming the bank's lien was improper because the condo was purchased post-separation and therefore shouldn't be subject to marital debt. The judge looked at the timeline, looked at the fact that the divorce wasn't finalized, looked at the co-signed loan documents, denied the motion, ruled that until the divorce is final, all assets and debts remain marital property, and the bank has every right to secure their debt. My wife had a breakdown in the courtroom, full sobbing, had to be escorted out by her sister. Week 4, reality set in. She couldn't pay the debt. She couldn't get me to assume it. She couldn't get the bank to back off. Her options were, let the bank seize the condo and auction it to recover the debt, sell the condo herself and pay the debt from the proceeds, declare bankruptcy and tank her credit for 7 years. She chose option 2, listed the condo for sale, had to price it aggressively to sell fast since she was under time pressure, sold it in 3 weeks for basically what she paid. After closing costs and paying off her mortgage, she cleared maybe $8,000, which went straight to the bank for her debt. Didn't even make a dent. The bank worked out a payment plan for the remaining balance, $1,850 per month for 60 months. She had to move back in with her parents at age 36. Meanwhile, the divorce finalized last month. Final asset division went exactly as originally agreed. She got half the house proceeds after her debt was deducted $97,500. She got half my business valuation after her debt was deducted $52,500. She got half the savings/retirement after her debt was deducted nothing. The debt ate it all. Total amount she walked away with, $150,000, minus whatever she's already paid on that monthly plan. Oh, and she's still making those $1,850 payments. Will be for the next 5 years. If she just talked to me, if we'd sat down and discussed divorce like adults, if she'd let me explain the financial situation before rushing to split everything, I would have probably been fair. Might have even offered to assume more of the debt in exchange for keeping more of the business equity. But no, she wanted to play hardball, wanted to ambush me with papers and demand half of everything immediately, wanted to act like I was the enemy and she was entitled to whatever she could grab. And now she's living with her parents, making massive loan payments, and watching me live in the house we bought together, which I refinanced and bought out her portion. Last week, she sent me one final email. I hope you're happy. You got everything you wanted. I didn't respond because, honestly, I didn't want this. I didn't want the divorce. I didn't want the fighting. I didn't want to watch the mother of my hypothetical future children self-destruct because she couldn't be bothered to read financial documents. But I also wasn't going to be a doormat. Wasn't going to let her screw me over just because she was too proud or too rushed or too entitled to do things properly. She made her choices, every single one, and she's living with them now. As for me, I'm doing fine. Business is growing. The loan will be paid off ahead of schedule. I've got the house to myself. Started seeing someone new. Nothing serious, but it's nice to remember what it feels like when someone actually wants to spend time with you. My ex-wife's sister still posts passive-aggressive stuff on social media about men who hide assets and financial abuse. I don't engage. Anyone who knows the real story knows better. The divorce taught me something important. Read everything before you sign it. Know what you're agreeing to. And if you're going to make demands, be prepared for the consequences. My ex learned that lesson the expensive way. She wanted half of everything. She got exactly that.